Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Renat. I am Golden Gate Gooner, and this is NorCal is Red, my YouTube channel, episode 1. Let's do an introduction. I live in Northern California. I've been a fan since the early 90s. The Arsenal Football Club means a lot to me and to my family because every time we don't do well, my family suffers because I'm not in a really good mood. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans out there would probably understand where I'm coming from. Now, I haven't been in a really good mood in a long time because we haven't won the league in a very long time. I'm not going to mention how long because if you're the Arsenal Football Club fan, you know it's been way too long. I wanted to do this channel for 7-8 years and I had to find excuses not to do it because I didn't want to talk bad about my club, because at some point we were 8th in the league, in the Premier League, which is ridiculous for the size of the club, the history, and everything else. And I think by hiring Mikel Arteta, we have addressed that. He has changed Arsenal through and through. I mean, we're talking, the dynamics are completely different, okay? We're not 8th, we're 2nd, and we're knocking on the Goliath's door. Man City, beware, we're coming for you. That's it. What do you expect from the channel? From my channel, this is what I'm going to do. I will post new episodes after every single game that we do. Champions League, Premier League, the domestic cups, all of them. I'm going to do a review of the game, my feelings about it, my opinion, because I live in an area where I don't meet a lot of Arsenal fans. Hopefully this channel allows me to become friends and with a lot of Arsenal fans worldwide. That's the goal. That's the main goal. So like, subscribe, comment after every single episode so I know your feelings about the channel, about your opinions. Headline for the current episode: I will not call the ref by his name. He does not deserve to be mentioned. The sense I get from this particular ref is that he doesn't have a lot of good games. As a matter of fact, I don't know of any good games he's had so far. To me, the most important about a ref is the best ref is the one you don't mention. That means that the players did all the talking, not the ref. What's a good ref? He understands the dynamics of every single game. Two teams playing against each other, what they're going to do to effectively either win the game or tie the game, what kind of result they're going to have, depending on their tactics. You have Joao Pedro from Brighton. He kicks the ball after the whistle, thus delaying the game, and he should have been booked. He doesn't get booked. The ref decides that, well, I'm not going to book him. Either the ref makes a mistake by not remembering that he's supposed to book him, or he decides not to book him because he feels like, well, that's not worthy of a booking. Thus, he sets the precedent. He sets the tone for the game, basically letting all the players on the field know, well, I'm not going to call these kind of things in this game. They're not necessary and they're irrelevant. Okay, so you can, in fact, interfere and delay the game, and I'm not going to book you. Okay, that's what the message was in the first half from the ref. He has issues and he needs to work on them. And PGMOL, the governing body for the refs in the Premier League, need to address this. They need to talk to these refs. They need to figure out a way on how to channel the urge for attention from these refs, but in a positive way, not away from the spectacle. Because the Arsenal fans, the Brighton fans, all the fans in the world, they want the spectacle. You don't want to take away from them watching the game. You know, they're paying boatload of money for the tickets. They're traveling. They're doing all these things to make it to the game, and then it's all ruined by this guy, this one guy who seeks attention. I can't say it any other way. Like, people who have decided to say, well, you know, he made a mistake in the first half, he didn't call the play before and didn't book a player for the similar offense or the same offense, so to speak. What are you talking about? That shouldn't even come into play because, okay, he set the precedent. He set the rules for the game. Okay, common sense was, hey, Declan Rice saw that Joao Pedro wasn't booked. So he could do the same thing, essentially, whenever he wanted and not be booked either. I mean, you can't just like pick and choose. You got to do one or the other. All right? If you don't want to enforce the rules that are in the book, you're allowed to do that, by the way. That said, the spectacle was gone, okay? When you got 10 players playing against 11 players and both teams are really good, it affects everything. People are not enjoying the game anymore. I mean, Arsenal were in charge of that game. We can't say we were dominating, but we definitely had every opportunity to win that game. Even with 10 men, with one man down, we had opportunities to win the game. But it was tough. It was tough. So I give props to our players for, you know, doing what they did, which was get a draw out of that game. We were winning at the time of the booking and the sending off of Declan Rice. By the way, Declan seemed extremely surprised at that decision. So that kind of shows that he thought that, well, if the other guy didn't get a booking, he wasn't going to get a booking. Plus, he didn't do anything as close to the other guy. The ball was rolling, and the guy threw the ball, Veltman, the guy from Brighton, threw the ball right at Rice, and then, you know, and then kicked him really hard. That could have been a yellow card. I mean, he could have been thrown out. Nope, none of that happened. Anyways, that's it. That we end with the ref, okay? Player ratings for the game for our players. I would say Raya has been the most consistent player so far this season. He's been amazing. The defenders, I'm sure, are extremely happy having him protecting the net because he's controlling the box really well. He's making great saves. He punches the ball out every time the ball comes in when he has a chance or catches it. You know, gives the team a breather when the team needs a breather, seeks out players going forward, making runs, kicks the balls right to them. So he's been really good. I mean, 8/9 out of 10 for me on the season, but in this game in particular, 8/9 out of 10. White, Benny Blanco, is 6/7 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say 6 out of 10 because, you know, you're playing against Natoma, an extremely fast and technical, really good player. He's hard to dominate. He's hard to control. Benjamin still did really well. You couldn't ask for more than Benjamin White, okay? He's just unbelievable. Saliba, the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, 7 out of 10. I'd say Gabriel, mega highish, 6. He could have done a better job on the goal. You know, it's interesting. Since the beginning of the year, the first game, Saliba had a few instances where Gabriel needed to help him, and he did. Then it was the other way around, and then again, Gabriel in this game had a slightly lower score from me, 6, Saliba 7. But they're very close, and the partnership between those two guys is really good, so you can't complain. Timber, 6 out of 10. He's still adjusting. He was beat. He was tired. I think he had cramps, and then hopefully it's not an injury, but he was taken off. He had a really good game in terms of just stability. He didn't really offer anything going forward, but he wasn't bad. Okay, 6 out of 10 I'd give him. Then we have Partey. Now Partey has been iffy, specifically on the counters when people run past him like there's no tomorrow, and that's not encouraging. You know, it's kind of worrisome. He's not going to get any better at his age, so we need to help him. it's not like we have a lot of choice right now. Mikel Merino, the signing of the transfer window, basically gets injured in the first training session. He's out. You know, he was probably going to take that position from Partey, and now he's out. So we need to support Partey, okay? And Mikel needs to work with Partey specifically on the issues with him getting beat and people running right past him. All right, Rice, sent off, is still struggling to find his form. 4 out of 10 I would give him in this particular game. He needed definitely some help. He made a mistake. He apologized for it. I can understand why he did it, and you know, he'd think about it twice. You have to read the game. With the ref, it was impossible to read the game because the inconsistencies of these refs is ridiculous. Saka, 7 out of 10. In my opinion, he's 7, 8 out of 10. He's the second most consistent player. I'd say he's on par with David Raya. 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, but he's world class. And he's only getting better. He's already world class. So anybody who says otherwise is full of it, okay? I don't take it. Saka is amazing. Havertz, man of the match. Even though he could have done better in the second half when we had a chance to actually win the game. It was another one-on-one. He did a really good job strength-wise, physicality-wise, to beat the defender and, you know, with the ball. But it was a really good save by the goalie from Brighton. And, yeah, I'd still give Havertz man of the match. The goal he scored, going over the goalkeeper, you know, great touch. Havertz is really good. I mean, he's definitely hit form. Him and Raya and Saka are top notch at the moment. They're carrying us. Trossard didn't really do well in this game. He did have one really good moment, but overall I'd give him a 5 out of 10. Could have done much better. But even though he wants to start the games as any professional footballer wants, he does better when he comes off the bench. He always influences the game. Here he didn't influence the game almost at all, except for that one particular moment where he passed the ball. I think it was to Saka. No, it was to Martin Odegaard. Calafiore, another signing of the transfer window, another really strong performance. He was not very long, but I love this guy. We'll do another episode just on the transfer window. I'll follow it up maybe next week and talk about all the signings. Martinelli came on, didn't really offer anything. Zinchenko, same. It was too short of a time. I can't really give him anything. Arteta, I'll give him 7 out of 10. And the reason is, I mean, he saved us a point. I think he switched from 4 to 5 to 5 in the back to solidify defense and try to bring the point into the fold, and he did that. Okay, for the ref, I'll just say he should be demoted to the most bottom league in England, 50 or 60 or I don't know. You know, just give him a few months in there and see if he changes for the better. Okay, going forward, Bukayo Saka is world class, like I mentioned. There's no doubt in my mind. He's our best player. Havertz is in great form. Rice is struggling to find his. Partey, hopefully he's capable of magic again. You know, he does offer us some things going forward. His passing is fairly decent, but yeah, on defense he's been struggling. There were 2 other games which I'm going to do episodes on as well, in reverse, since they were first. You know, we had a game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves. That was 2-0, and Havertz and Saka scored. Saka, player of the game. Player of the match. Aston Villa against Arsenal at Villa Park, 2-0 Arsenal. Trossard and Partey scored. It was good to see Partey score. You know, he needs his confidence to continue helping us until Mikel Merino comes back. All right, so let's see. I think that's it for now. I will do a transfer window episode next in the next couple of days and see if you have any opinions on that. I mean, you should. In my opinion, with the Raheem Sterling signing was 7 out of 10 transfer window, but we'll discuss it. What I want you to know is I'm going to do reviews of every game we played this season. That's going to be my goal. Every episode after every game. And sometimes, hopefully, depending on what time the game starts, I'm in Northern California, 4 a.m. is hard, 5, 6 a.m. is hard to go to pubs and bars and watch the games with Arsenal fans. So I'll have to figure out a way on how to once in a while do it, because it's tough when you have a family. I got a wife, a kid, and 5 years old. It's kind of tough. But let's see. Next game we play against Tottenham. By the way, the only game I've been to the Emirates was against Tottenham, and I have a ticket in front of me. Sunday, the 6th of November, 2015. This is when Kane, on the 33rd minute or 2nd minute, scored, and we were losing the whole game. It was like being in a library at the Emirates. And Kieran Gibbs, I don't know if you guys remember him, he scored on the 77th minute, which is, by the way, is my favorite number. So that was excellent. That kind of saved that experience for me. You know, I remember it as at the end, I mean, everybody was ecstatic and happy that at least we got a point out of it. But that was the only game I've been to at the Emirates. That's about it for now. This is my first episode. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think, what I should improve on. I mean, give me some slack in terms of, this is my first time doing this. I've never done a YouTube channel, you know, any episodes. I'm shy, I'm nervous. The camera makes me a bit jittery, but I'll try to do this as much as possible so we can discuss this, because I need that, okay? Much love. Treat others like you want to be treated, and I will see you on the next episode, okay? Thank you. Peace.